For all those who've been waiting for me to make these kind of videos, I want to thank you all for this. I know this might not get any views, that's fine. But at this point, thank you guys who've been here for years on end. I remember doing these videos in 2016, 2017, thanks to certain individuals. And they've moved on for a good reason. And in my case, as you can tell, I've been moved on, obviously, for stuff that is happening in my real life. Nothing bad, but I just haven't had the time to do videos addressing and cooking the Communitah, the alt-right, the SJWF, whoever needs to be cooked. But in this case, it isn't any of those entities that need to be cooked. It's the men. It's the particular men who, for years, have been pining and complaining and whining and moaning and begging, the begging strips. Hey, I love you, I love begging. I love you, I love begging. It's a begging strips commercial, except it's not some sort of milk that's hanging out the bacon or the bacon strips. It's you know who. We don't even need to say it. And not all women of this race are like that. I've already addressed that in multiple videos in the past. Look at my archives so you want to know the real culprits and how to tell the difference between them and the normal women. But it is these, you can call them modern women. I'll say modern women. But that's sort of a term used by these guys in order to whine and moan and complain about whatever. But I think for a lot of these guys, it is time to confess one of these things. Either one, you love this kind of woman. You love, let's just say this, you love Keisha. You love Keisha, don't you? But Keisha never loved you. Keisha never desired you. Keisha never had you as her first choice. Keisha saw you as the backup plan. And you know where I stand when it comes to backup plans. You are no one's backup plan. And I keep telling guys this, but it keeps falling deaf ears. But no, these certain guys, they still want Keisha. But Keisha either never wanted them or still doesn't want them, even though she's supposedly past the wall. She's done in the streets. She's going back to the streets. Winter's come like 23 times, and she's still in the streets. She'd rather freeze in the streets in the middle of winter than be in your house, than be in your warm house. Your warm house that's being heated up by your PS5 and your Xbox Series X. But no, you gotta admit that either one, you love Keisha. And don't give me that, oh, I only go for the good women and the good. No, plenty of good women out here. Plenty of them. And this is the one time I'll probably have to vouch for individuals who are so-called swells. These kind of women, and I'm not talking about the modern women who show up in Kevin Samuels' show and are like, big shit, I need a man, or I'll settle with a man, I don't know. No, I'm talking about these good BWs who had no ass. You put these women out pasture because they had no ass, or they had smaller needs, huh? And you wonder why they went to Brad and Chad. You wonder why. You wonder why they went to these anime conventions and swirled it up all night long. You wonder why. Don't give me that. Don't give me that. You love Keisha, don't you? These guys, I'm not telling you my audience. My audience knows this one because guess what? The guys who want the good Keishas or whoever, they went SYSBM. They went past they went outside the country, I'll just say that. But they definitely didn't stay here and whine and cry about what she did this week. So either you want Keisha, you love Keisha, you see your mom and Keisha, these modern women, you want to save her. You want to save her from her own self. Now, I don't know why these guys do what they do. I don't think this is the majority of the population. I know a lot of these guys say, well, the reason why we are still here because we see our mamas in them. And the way that a lot of your mamas treated you, I don't want to hear that. If I pulled you in the corner, because if I pulled you in the corner and I asked you, what do you think about your mom? What do you really think about your mom? Your mama! At best, you would say, my mama is the reason why nursing homes will never go out of business, at least in America. That's at best. That's best. We don't even go to what you'll probably say in the worst case scenario. That's too raw for you too. But certainly you see Keisha and your mom, all right, whatever makes you feel better about admitting you're number one or number three. What's number three? It's that you cannot go SYSBM. You're incapable of doing so. And I've given tips. I've given the keys to SYSBM. And maybe I should spell it out. Maybe I should, you know what? Maybe I should do what the Thank You Man Templar guy does. Maybe I should do what he does and give the real keys on going SYSBM. That's on Patreon, folks. If you want it for only $5 a month, I'm not doing the upcharging crap. None of that stuff. None of that $25 to put uploads of game. No. None of that bad boy membership crap. So you can go after hoes and dots and modern women. No. I'm going to give you the keys to number three. To unlock number three. Which a lot of these guys who are still begging Keisha can't do, because the reason why is because they can't get women outside their race. At least women who are desirable. The women who are thin, who are tight, who are in college, just coming out of college, or even in their 30s, who are MILFs. And look, a lot of these guys, they basically upplay the Pro-Act card, the Amlo the Keisha card, because they themselves cannot get the top tier WWs, LWs, Asian, AWs, anyone. They can't get them. Some of them can't even get the light-skinned one. So we'll go out there. That's a whole nother subject to cover, especially being a light-skinned guy in a place that wasn't light-skin friendly. I won't even go there. But the number 4 reason, and I think this is the case for a lot more people than they want to admit. And to be honest, this number 4 reason is probably a better damage control reason than number 2 of, I see my mama and these modern women, these Keishas, whoever. You're doing it for money, man. You're doing it for the money. You pay the bills. Come on, man. I know a lot of these guys who do the 3-letter acronym word, which we won't say out of respect. They're doing it for the money, man. They're doing it for the thrills. They're doing it for the laws. They're doing it for the bills, man. It's not even the thrills. It's the bills. And, hey, making an ESPN Sports Center highlight cover and this kind of BS, it pays bills, at least for now. For now it does. Granted, if you're not willing to invest in equipment and studios and go to places, speaking of which, we'll talk about the other part in a second, and go to places where you can find these modern women a dime a dozen off the street, do a reaction to it. You'll get some change. Nothing compared to the super chats and the Cashapps and the AdSense that these guys who put in the studio or who are in the studio do, but you'll get something. You'll get enough to buy that PS5 game or Xbox Series X game. All right, all right. But speaking of which, before we end this video, to the dynamic duo the dynamic dumbass duo. All I'm gonna say to them is this: are you willing, given your ethnic status, your country status, and the antics you've been doing, are you willing to relocate to Europe? We know the answer and we know why. Everyone else out there always bet on